An assessment of environmental sustainability of non-fuel mining and mined material in the U.S. XYZ Research Scholar. August 2, 2019. PhD thesis. Here is the outline slide. As an example of 5 chapters. Chapter 1 is Introduction, to introduce the topic of mining and mined materials. Scale of extractive activities. Impacts continue beyond just extraction. Processing is a highly energy and material-intensive activity. Total global production of copper from 1900 to 2015 continues to increase. The scale and impacts of these activities will necessarily increase and continue. However, when considering material long-term trends and impacts, it is necessary to limit the system boundary, not global but regional, highly variable. Australia high but decreasing, China, India, Mexico. Increasing, US, UK, Canada decreasing, Qatar increasing. Dematerialization, a hypothesis that saturation of materials occurs after a certain level of economic development and overall consumption decreases. This is a concept that is a governing theme and question we explore. Research objectives. Number 1 research objective is establish a framework for sustainable mining that incorporates circularity. Number 2 research objective is develop a model to represent stocks and flows of copper in the U.S. Number 3 research objective is identify and model future scenarios and assess their circularity. Number 4 research objective is evaluate environmental suitability for scenarios in the sustainable mining framework. Chapter 2, a review of suitable mining and resources management. Transitioning from the life cycle of the mine to the life cycle of the mineral. Framing and motivation. Establish a framework for sustainable mining that incorporates circularity. Critical review of existing works and initiatives for sustainability in mining. Overarching concepts. Impacts of mining and process operations. Mineral life cycle and circular economy. Synthesize 2 areas of thought in a new framework. Sustainable mining. Reducing operational impacts. Positive results. Reducing operational impacts. Limitations of operational focus. Circular economy. And mined materials. New sustainable mining framework. Chapter 3. Stocks and flows of copper in the U.S. Analysis of circularity 1970 to 2015. And potentials for increased recovery. Copper in the U.S. Objectives. Number 2 research objective is develop a model to represent stocks and flows of copper in the U.S. Copper life cycle framework. Copper end-of-life ecosystem. Copper use and end of life. Copper production and consumption in the U.S. from 1970 to 2015. Complete copper life cycle MFA. Copper use phase. Implications. Summary. An assessment of the environmental suitability and circularity of future scenarios of copper life cycle in the U.S. Objectives. Simplified life cycle framework. Material flow drivers used for regression analysis. Expected base case forecast. FS1 to 2030. Expected base case forecast. FS1 to 2030. Scenario analysis. Copper environmental sustainability. Circularity metrics. Copper environmental sustainability. Footprints metrics. Summary. Chapter 5. Summary, conclusions, and recommendations for future work. Summary. and conclusions. Research contributions. Acknowledgements.